Welcome to Part 5 in Parts. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And this is your semi-bi-weekly Jojo Golden Wind anime review podcast.
In parts.
In parts? Oh my god.
That's all they talk about spoilers and everything.
I think this podcast has like a tradition for getting just worse and worse intros every time because the name is so long and contrived.
You made it, man.
I did.
So,
as Sam said, spoilers. For every JoJo, everything, leave now or forever get spoiled.
Yes.
About Diavolo's sexy undergarments.
His fishnet.
His fishnets.
So, in this episode, we're covering episode that's basically the Babyface arc with a little bit of White Album because it started, but it's mainly focusing on the Babyface part.
Yeah, it's really funny to me how they're ordering this because they easily could have probably stretched out Babyface into 2 episodes, and I really like that they didn't.
Yeah,
it feels like they're less tied to like older episode formula where it would be like, all right, we're going to be doing this arc is going to take this chapter is going to take this arc is going to take this so many episodes, this arc is going to take this so many,
kind of like what Anna Part 4 did anime, where they had this like those stand fights that happened towards the end and just combined them all in like the one episode, so you kind of jumped from like 3 episodes for all like 3 or 4 fights, and they kind of jumped between them.
Yeah, and I think it was just a good idea.
Yeah, Babyface is a very it's like kind of that brushed off chapter in part 5 that people like, oh yeah, that happened kind of part.
And it's actually like super important. Like I'd forgotten in my head, because when I'd read part 5, I remembered that this was like when Giorno gets his like OP healing ability.
Yeah.
But I really like how it's explained how Babyface is what like has him learn. Like it's one of the coolest things about having stands as a power system. It's about what the user is capable of thinking of, not just like how strong Goku's punch is going to be. It's about like how Giorno is going to take his ability and learn from other like enemies and use it in a new way, basically, which is cool.
JoJo protagonist function. It's just like how Joseph used Haman in his various ways that he could do it. Like that kind of BS.
Yeah, and it's great, and we love it because it's JoJo. And this is where we start to see people who hate Giorno, and they're like, Giorno's too fucking strong.
He is strong, but I get more annoyed by the bullshit he does, and the bullshit he. I don't know. I made it plenty of time to clear, especially during Purple Haze and Man the Mirror, where it's just the bullshit Giorno does. And
yeah. So there's actually one thing I'm curious about at the end of this fight that I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out the logistics of it because it doesn't make too much sense to me. But we'll get to that later.
So we talk about the intro to Malone and Babyface. So
yeah, I guess I don't really look at like fucking Stardust Crusaders or /Stardust Crusaders. I don't know if there's actually a controversy. I just see like my Twitter is.
It's more so the people who are anime only, where we're kind of like we know but he's also like you can understand why, because his stand is it's very weird. But he's also a creep towards women.
Yeah, and it was kind of funny, like the little bit they added. I think the little bit they added before this with him humanized him a little bit more, and that's a weird word to say.
Humanize?
It makes him seem like more of a character. Whereas like if you just have him show up in this woman's cabin, which he does, and like let's not cut the cheese. He does like horrible things. Like there is like a very literal like allegory to what he's supposed to be doing with Babyface.
But but basically the intro from like when he showed like the squad like talking to each other with him just creeping on, like really like checking out, like looking like the stereotypical like guy who's horny over every girl that walks by, like just like a sort of like just disgusting monster man. Yeah. And it's really funny though because he looks so flamboyant, and I know it's JoJo. Yeah. I know everyone looks flamboyant, but he really stands out with his... which I really do love his design. I think his design looks really good. Also, I think what we said for the last thing, we weren't sure if Malone gets on the same train, which he does. The same train that a Grateful Dead whole thing take place on.
Yeah, but what I thought he was there the whole time. Yeah. We found out later that he used a motorbike to get there.
But
so he wasn't actually part of he wasn't on the same train. He wasn't getting turned old.
But he gets on it eventually though. But
yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. It is the same train.
So Babyface, he basically he's talking to the woman like thinking she's perfect. She drinks, she smokes. She's just an asshole like bitch of a woman.
Yeah, she's very like upper crust and she's very like cruel.
But I love the slap and then he just licks her hand. It's like my favorite thing that he does. So Babyface is the laptop, and the laptop grows like legs and arms.
It's just hilarious looking.
Yeah, it's really weird, like a little goblin like laptop creature. Like a goblin. And it just like punches like the window. Which I went back and like looked in the manga, and all you saw was just like the hand on the broken window, like on the window with her like back of her head, and then it was cut. Where this one is just like she cuts back and looks at it, but then it kind of goes away.
Yeah.
So people were saying they did it like. Because we were kind of jumping ahead from when it cuts back to, like, our group, but, like, I get this part out of the way with, like, him and her.
And the woman. I don't think she ever gets a name.
No, she's just bitch woman, pretty much. But, so it cuts back to her, and she, like, checks herself off, which she doesn't do in the manga, I think.
I don't recall her. Yeah, she, like, physically checks to see if she had been assaulted.
Yeah.
Which, to me, made it so much more, like, real, in a way. And which was, like, uncomfortable to me. I was like... Whoa, I can't believe they, like, actually did that. Because if they kind of just left it, like, be, I feel like it wouldn't have been so much. But the fact that they acknowledged that made it feel a little creepier, almost.
And the fact that she's, like, pissed off that nothing happened to her. She was just being creepy to have, like, fuck with her kind of thing.
Yeah, she seems to brush it off pretty easily.
Yeah, so people, and I wanted to see, like, the stand, like, it either knocks her out or just injects something into her. Not, like stick it, like, it just probably just, like, injects like a needle or something.
I hate to admit it, but I really feel like it is just a rape.
I think
this is literally
it's supposed to be, but like I guess like since nothing happened, like it's unless like I don't know.
It's also like stands too, and there's magic there.
It's also the weirdest like I don't know. It's like the most multi-layered stand. Like it does so much stuff and requires so many things. Like the laptop is a stand. We know that, and like.
It's one of the few examples where, like, the main characters don't ever actually fight the stand at all.
It's a stand that makes another stand through a surrogate mother, and he teaches it through the laptop, which is weird, because, like, he shows, like, I love when he shows the pictures, and, like, like all the animals, like, ripping apart, like, Bruno, and, like, a picture. I love that.
Yeah, that was really funny. Oh, what I love about that, too, is, like, so, yeah, we were watching this in the background, just to refresh our minds, and... It has him showing, like, this is a giraffe, this is a lion, this is, like, so he's showing, like, predators and prey commingling. You're like, okay, he's going to explain, like, that the predator and the prey, whatever, like, the predator goes after the prey. But then it shows all of them together at killing Bruno. So, like, the giraffe is, like, stepping on Bruno's stomach, like, the lion's ripping his head off. I just thought that was really funny.
That's, like, the little chibi art of all of them, too, like, really good, too. Yeah. But, yeah, so, and then... With Babyface, because you also said Babyface's son is invincible, so yeah, it makes like you call them juniors, I think too.
Yeah, at least in the subtitles.
Yeah, but I love it. Like I need to pee, like just pee wherever, and he pees like in her hair, and just like
that's like I remember that really striking, like standing out to me. It was like, what the fuck? This is like creepy shit. Like it is not. This chapter is really not afraid to just do really creepy, gross shit. Yeah.
And it's also, like, does it show the power of, like, him, like, just, like, slices her up and then, like... Which... So, this power, is able to, like, take stuff up and, like, move it away somewhere or, like, cut it up and, like...
It seems to just be, like, super incredibly strong. It can just alter... it can split up matter and just completely change it. So we see way later in the second episode that Bruno and Trish were... they became table and a chair.
Okay. We just don't know...
Which was weird, though, because, like... The table and chair were still there after they got out of it, so it was like they were inside of it, but they weren't. It was like they were extra mass inside of it.
And if we assume that he just ate the mother, right?
Yeah, I guess so. He definitely kills the mother.
Yeah, he says. I think he said he was hungry or something.
No, because the whole thing was like the mother's mentality of being like a complete asshole. Was perfect for him because it made the baby just murderous. Because, like, the mother says something, like, to one of the conductors, like, oh, I'll kill you. And then the baby learns from that. And the baby's like, oh, I'll kill. And then it was like, okay.
Sure.
The baby's going to go kill... Junior is now going to go kill Giorno and Bruno and friends.
Yeah, so, okay. So, we have to have... We kind of skipped over, but, yeah, we have Giorno and the team kind of have another group meeting, whatever.
And Giorno has this is like one of my favorite moments of Jojo all time. He's just like, we shouldn't just steal one car. We should steal 100 cars.
I just really wish they didn't cut out like the Fugo saying, what?
Yeah, that really sucks. It's interesting in this adaptation, they've cut out a lot of like, maybe not a lot is the right word, but they've cut out a decent chunk of like funny little character asides and like things like that. And I get like that they're probably just trying to pace it properly, but like that's one of my favorite exchanges. I think it's so fucking funny because like that's what the audience is like. Fugo embodies what you're thinking. Like what?
Also, no word of like people always do stupid stuff or say stupid stuff. Like someone's actually responding to something stupid is actually amazing,
and not just like waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. Also, the I just love Bruno like in the turtle like because Trish should go bathroom and he just like puts the zipper like I don't know where it'll go but I'm assuming it'll be fine. A turtle will be fine. It'll probably just be nutrients for it.
Yeah, he literally says like it might be good for the turtle too. That was really funny. I'm glad they left that in. Thankfully,
one of my favorite like little thing. It has some kind of like pee. This had a lot of pee humor, I guess.
Yeah, Jojo does have like a tendency to be very scatological, but
yeah. So we get also like I forget the image like before they go like the turtle stuff. Babyface, like the child of Babyface, goes on a motorcycle. Like I love the idea of a stand itself, just a stand alone. So people, if anyone is seeing this, they're just seeing a motorcycle by itself driving. Yeah, which is like hilarious. Which I know we talked about before about like seeing stands like as a human. But yeah, so Trish gets cut up, dragged into the little cabinet.
Yeah, which we actually find out the cabinet is Babyface. So Babyface's son. It's going to be confusing.
We're just
going to call Babyface.
Yeah.
So yeah, Babyface, what he did himself was turn himself into... So completely altered his own form to look like a piece of furniture. And then within himself, he grabbed Trish and Bruno. And then I guess later at some time, he what can we say?
What?
He turned them into a chair and a table.
I guess
at some other time, and that didn't seem to hurt them at all. They seemed like a little disoriented when they came out. But...
Which, I know you have to keep Trish alive, but Bruno, like, would he keep him alive just so he could have like to the boss or something? Or,
I thought that was dumb,
or some kind of information thing. I don't know.
I'm sure that's what happened in the original, but I just thought that was dumb that he keeps Bruno alive.
Yeah. But yeah, I love when Giorno gets his neck, like his voice box, like taken out, and his eye.
The setup for this is a really cool fight. I love the idea that he's so close to the rest of the gang, but he can't actually. Say anything.
Giorno's waving his arms in this guy. What's his problem? I don't know. Just ignore him. He's a weirdo. It's like the same line of like, oh, those screams sound like Rohan. No, it's just the rain. Or like, all that stupid shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, there's no reason why they would just so quickly...
There's no such thing as a world in the mirrors.
There is something funny that's happening, or that happens, what I thought was just hilarious, and I don't know if it's a detail in the manga, but Giorno's eye gets like blocked out, and it turns into a block and flies out, and then like, Babyface creates a rock and it like comically just crushes the eye, but it happens in the corner of the screen, and if you aren't paying attention you might miss it, but I think it's just hilarious to me that like
I don't think I really
watch this. Okay, it just like it's
it
so
is comical.
It's so weird and like not even noticeable. He makes a football and it like bounces and crushes the eye, and I think it's just supposed to be like, okay, Giorno's not getting his eye back.
Giorno doesn't make a big deal out of it though either.
It happens in the corner of the screen like in a split second. I laughed so hard when I saw it.
She's trying to make Coco Jumbo. But yeah. So like, they continue their like standoff with like, I don't know. He's like,
it's just a lot of like bullshit. Like, you can't hurt me, I'm this thing. You can't hurt me, I'm this thing.
And Giorno's like, oh, you can pick apart stuff. Like, why can't I heal myself and put stuff in?
Yeah, and which to me is like, okay, I get the whole thing that this is like Giorno's like new way of being the healer, but it's so weird to me that he would have the ability to create just like a perfect cube of flesh.
He can create life, and he can create the perfect like just filling for his eye. It's kind of weird.
The part when he makes his eye is like really telling, because it's like the eye is a really complex thing. I mean, the human body is incredibly complex, and for him to just make like a piece of flesh and just slide it in perfectly, it's a cool visual, but it's like,
it's weird.
It is a very strange power.
It's very bullshitty, especially like considering how his powers have been in this part.
Yeah.
Like, other than just, he can create life, like, just, like, animals, or, like, flower, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But, like, this one, he's just like, I can create organs, because they're living when they're not in something.
Yeah, there is a part where he, also does something questionable with Gold Experience. He calls his hand, Gold Experience's hand, back after it had been cut off, which we find out was actually not Gold Experience's hand. It was actually part of the motorbike, which is fucking Jojo, which turned into a hand. But like, how did he do that? How did it come back to him? I know that Giorno has like the most shifting skin, and I'm really trying to give benefit of the doubt. I don't hate Giorno. I like Giorno a lot, but I just cannot reconcile the fact that he just grows new powers that just never come back. And I was trying to play like fifth dimensional chess, and like, all right, so he had an ability about like reflecting earlier. Could that be related? And like, no, I can't. I can't justify it.
He had the Dio thing of he has multiple powers. Like he had Hermit Purple at one point, and then his time powers were like very weird, and he just fucked around with it, not like actually using it for time stop. Good reasoning for time stop. But
one thing I thought was funny, I just want to note, the color shift in this episode, everything is just colored like piss. Everything becomes gold and everything looks like piss. And I thought it was funny because there's a whole joke about the baby peeing on the mom's head in the beginning.
But so yeah, I do love the last image of the episode with like the piranha. Like
I didn't even realize it was a piranha. I thought it was just like an Alien reference. I was thinking of like Alien. When the chest burster comes out of the guy's chest.
I just love I thought it was really cool to see the piranha just like, and he's like a stand where he's like a human where you can like, he has a body that you can like physically like hurt and like destroy, because he's not like the stand, he's just a product of the stand. So
yeah, Babyface is, there's a lot of weird stuff in this arc, but I do like it.
It's a very unique stand in JoJo that's full of like 8 parts in the stands. He's still one of the most unique ones as a stand that makes another stand.
Yeah, and part 5 is just so awesome. And like today, so this episode is coming out the day that we watch the newest one, episode 19?
I believe so.
Or it's the first episode with White Album. And I was just like, damn, like part 5 just is like hit after hit. Like every fight is great. And like you can tell that he kind of wanted to go through Babyface quick too.
Yeah.
Like they have Babyface justice, but Babyface is probably one of the lesser arcs. Yeah. And it's more about like Giorno's character growth, which I think is important to talk about.
This episode, like Babyface, it's like 75% Giorno, 25% Babyface. With Giorno versus Babyface. Because like Giorno just destroys him in the second episode. Like he had no chance. Even like, I got this bullshit. Not like, I had this bullshit. It's just like it's just a matter of bullshit.
Yeah, it's like them. Once Giorno gets the ability to heal himself, like there's not a fight anymore. Like his ability just effectively counteracts Babyface's ability.
He's like, I learned everything. I learned your range. I learned everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and then just Giorno just like beats the crap out of him, and then puts the bike, as we said, in him with the hand, and then he just blows him up with like this. It's just like so much bullshit.
So yeah, the climax of the fight is he puts he calls the hand back, and the hand wasn't Gold Experience's hand. It was actually, it was the motorbike. It was apparently the entire bike that was made to look like Giorno's hand, and now it's inside of Babyface. So Babyface is becoming the bike.
So but the hand looks like Gold Experience's, so he can make a hand from a stand.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess so. I guess he can.
I know the extension of the soul like a stand is, but like I don't think he can make like a...
Because we know that... Wait, do we know that you can see Gold Experience's stuff in real life?
I think if it turns to an animal, you can see it.
I'm trying to think of an example where someone interacted with...
with a stand?
With one of... Oh, wait. Yes. The money. Giorno, remember in the first episode, Giorno made money.
Yeah.
And he turned butterflies into money, whatever.
I think they can see that. They see the effect of it, but they can't see Gold Experience itself.
Yeah, so they can see the... Yeah, they wouldn't be able to see Gold Experience, but they can see the actual, like, products that Gold Experience makes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have proof. So yeah, I guess you could. That'd be interesting.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it is extremely weird.
But yeah, so he basically blows up Babyface, and...
So yeah, Babyface is on fire, and then we don't quite see what happens, but he turns Babyface into, I think it's just one snake.
It's one snake, and it's like and then it goes back to Malone, because they always go back to the owner, and it just bites him and like kill. It shows his face. I think it didn't really show, but like in the manga, it didn't show his face like that. But like,
yeah, he gets his tongue bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross, which is hilarious. That was just a really funny like punchline to the joke of him constantly licking his lips.
Yeah.
And
died like instantaneously. I was surprised they didn't go to like what kind of snake it was, but I guess it was just a poisonous snake away.
Yeah, I think they just said a poisonous snake.
So,
so this is the thing that I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. So yes, we say that he's got the snake. The snake's what kills him. All Giorno says is like, oh yeah, the snake that I left at the train station. So did they drive to the train station, leave the snake, and then continued going to Venice? That's what I...
Or maybe... Because like, there may be a train station nearby that they just left it at, so it would return to him, because the train was on the way to a destination, so they just... Because there's probably a bunch of stations on the way, so they probably could have left it off at one of them, or the snake just automatically goes, and maybe it was part of a stand, it was quicker than normal. I don't know.
It just felt strange that... I mean, like, I think in the original it was supposed to be like the snake just went and found him, but...
Yeah. Well, he got off the train and it bit him right away.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a manga.
But, like, thinking about how far of a distance the snake would have to go, like, it would take so long. And we see the snake appears at the train station, like, right as he's there. Assuming he hasn't just been sitting, dicking around in the train.
Here's Jojo, you just gotta imagine. It worked. It just worked out.
Yeah, it just fucking works, dude.
But we also get our first intro in his car.
Yeah, actually, it's almost like most of the episode. Most of the episode is dedicated to, fucking, what's the name? Gaccio.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say ice in Italian? Yes. Gaccio, who's everyone's been looking forward to.
Yeah.
White Album.
But you're the first in the car after seeing, like, you know, you see, like, the smoke trail and you're seeing, like, all these people, like, complaining about their cars. He just, like, he beats the shit out of his, like, the front of his dashboard of his car, which I love. Yeah,
that's a fun... I forgot about that. I was happy when I saw that.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, after Malone dies, we're cut to like there's like 3 of them in the car. Then it goes down to 2. It was like Fugo, Mista, and Giorno in the car. I guess everyone else is in the turtle.
Well, no, what happens is
everyone else is probably in a turtle though.
Yeah, they're in the turtle right now. But what happens in like the next scene? Because we're just going through it right now. In the next scene, they have the whole thing where Abacchio is like, or Bruno's like, Abacchio, I need you to do the thing.
That's right, the message from the boss. But before that, we get to we get to like an actual like an anime original scene, I believe, with
the episode opens so the episode opens with a scene where we see a tease of Gaccio and then later on in the episode we see Risotto.
Or Nero himself, I love all this tease up because he kind of shows up. And we're talking about this before we recorded, but like he just kind of shows up.
Yeah,
and this when you get the tease, and you even tease Metallica a little bit too. But
I could not believe that.
I saw the scissors, like that's a cool little tease for Metallica. But then he kept, just like nails forming and like just him like eyes just going out.
Yeah, they totally show his power, and I was not expecting that at all.
So, yeah, it was just really cool, and like it was just really cool seeing Nero because Nero is one of my favorites in.
He's fucking awesome.
Part 5.
And it's really interesting, too. I think this is such a smart idea to have him tease him as, like, this real bastard. This real smart, cunning, like, scary guy.
He's the leader of this squad.
Yeah, because, like, I think that he does, like, even though his introduction alone, I'm 99% sure that he's introduced in the fight where he fights Doppio.
I believe so.
If I'm wrong, then please correct me, because it's been a minute since I've read the Part 5 manga. But even though that's when we first see him, he still has such like a presence because his character design is so stunning, or what's the word? It's so like eye catching.
Yeah.
But just building him even more, I feel like is just awesome.
And also, they were trying to show like how they knew where they were going because it puts to imply that they found like evidence from what we get to with like the suicide of the capo.
Yeah, when he kills himself in the turtle.
Yeah, where like you put to assume they get the evidence, but like it's put to showing how they figure it out and like how he knows where to go. Like, which I kind of like that. They kind of explaining how he knows. Like
it still feels a little bullshit when they're like, yeah, we just use the computer,
Photoshop.
We use the computer to put the picture back together. It's like, all right,
rippy bits
out of fucking ashes.
I don't know, man.
No, it would have been okay if they would have like half of it was not destroyed, but we literally see like there's only like a few fragments of data.
The episode like had the after credit scene. It was like him finding like the corner piece of it that was still intact. He's like, oh, we can put that together. And, Close
if
enough.
he'd just seen, like, the fucking statue, that would have been... Whatever. This is pedantic.
Yeah, like a piece of statue, then you go, okay, we could probably figure out where that piece, that wing statue is. But yeah, because we get the whole thing with, like, the capo suicide, like, what happened to him. I love how he shoots himself out of the turtles, probably the funniest way.
That is really funny. And that was actually really good detail, too, because I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, it'll make sense.
But, yeah, love... As you know, I kind of thought they wouldn't do that. I thought it happened earlier, but I guess it happened later on.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just me. But yeah, then we get to the intro with like the long ass bridge to Venice itself.
The Ponte della Libertà.
Sure.
My Italian is
Excuse your
flawless.
French. Had to get their floppy disk.
Yeah, it is hilarious. They need to get a special old computer disk.
But we hope you like CG cars.
Yeah, this is the thing. We talked about this. This is what we were worried about. The fucking imminent CG. This one and the... I was really worried about it for the Beach Boy Grateful Dead fight, but that one actually...
I was worried more so for the first Mista fight.
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, because it was mainly on top of the truck instead of like seeing the truck move all the time.
Yeah, and that fight's really... It feels really quick, too. It feels like not much happens. But so, yeah, Mista and Giorno are in the... So, yeah, we split off.
I'm glad so... they
Sorry, we're reacting to what we're fucking watching. So, yeah, Giorno and Mista split off from the rest of the group, which we found out kind of later, which is really smart because we end up... Like, fucking White Album is so overpowered. He can just destroy Coco in a second because Coco's cold-blooded.
Yeah, I was that ice powers in anime in general are always the most overpowered ability.
It's so strong. Mista loses his pinky and doesn't realize it until, like, minutes later. Well, Jojo time, so it was probably, like, 4 seconds.
Well, look, he didn't count his fingers.
Oh no! That's probably why all this shit's happening.
If he can't count the thumb of the finger, but then again he would panic because he would have 4 fingers.
He constantly has 4 fingers on every hand, so then he bites his fingers off.
He just leaves his face on the window for like ever too, instead of just like taking it off. And, like,
well, I think
I was like, who taught you to drive? Is like, don't you have your license? Like, no, I'm 15. Which I'm finally glad someone like
that was
said something.
Fucking funny. I forgot about if that was a thing. I forgot about it. If it wasn't, then it was hilarious.
But yeah, so yeah, if he loses his finger, his face is like iced on there. The car like he gets like there's ice on the road a little bit, and then he get a couple shots off on the roof, and then he gets like stuck in. He's like just encased in a case of ice.
Yeah.
And, like,
so he's like created like a impenetrable like wall for himself, which
shell.
Is interesting. It's so. I was so shocked at how much of this episode was the White Album fight, because like. I was like, I feel like we're gonna get a little tease. I was spoiled a little bit on Twitter because I fucking always am because I don't get it out. I don't get home to like watch it live, obviously because I have a job. But I saw like a little scene of Gacho like skating. I was like, oh, we're probably gonna see this at like the very end, him skating. But I was like, no, we see like a good chunk of probably like I don't know if the whole next episode will just be the rest of the fight. It might be. Because
I always remember, like, one of the big things that happens to it is the car going to the river. And
yeah, I think the whole next episode is just going to be the end of it, too. Like, it's going to end, and then we're going to get the fucking...
Mr. King Crimson or Rolling Stones is I think one of those two.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get Rolling Stones.
Well, we talk about this every week, so...
Yeah, so...
But yeah, so the two that Sex Pistols get frozen were just always sad, like, they always get beat up so bad.
It really... I do like the balancing of Sex Pistols, like how... They are kind of weak. Like, they're really good at doing one thing.
They do their job.
They're terrible at, like, everything else. Like, they really counter the idea of, like, a punch ghost. Like, they totally aren't just, like, your standard punch ghost.
They're there to ricochet and deliver information or, like, be a lookout for anyone.
Something that you could use, like, a little small group for.
Yeah. You have to get the color shift again to something more blue.
Yeah, I really like the idea of, like, this one, so yeah, the color shift's blue, and it's almost like Gaucho, I'm probably saying this horribly wrong. Gaucho is such like a presence that his color scheme is invading the episode. Like, he's turning everyone blue because he's so fucking awesome, and we love him so much. Also,
the temperature just goes down. Like, these people would be dead instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well, I guess we were supposed to assume that this was only happening for like 4 seconds.
He surface a car with negative 100, which I'm pretty sure... Like,
negative 100 Celsius is actually less... It would be warmer than negative 100 Fahrenheit, though, I think. Let me double check.
Oh, yeah. But...
That's just a game theory.
But seriously, it's just, like, hilarious. Ice power is just always broken no matter what.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing, like, we see it in My Hero, too, where it's,
Shoto?
Shoto, like ice powers move at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And we see it in this episode too when he freezes the car exhaust near the end. Ice powers just move so incredibly fast it doesn't make sense.
It's such a cool image, just like the exhaust going out, just frozen. That was such a cool like move. But yeah, so he gets like a couple shots off because I think Giorno's like, I can't really make anything because nothing can be born out of a negative 100 degrees. And I'm like, So I guess that's how his power is the limit, that he has to be born in like a temperature.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting that they would. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. Negative 100 degrees Celsius is negative 148 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, this is like not even like nothing can live.
Also, I love the stupidity of like how angry he gets. Like, oh, I hate they always have to pronounce cities like Paris and Venice in the American way, not like Peri or Venezia. Venezia.
Yeah, which is funny because then he drops the Death in Venice. Which is very famous.
Is that a play?
It's a famous book by German writer Thomas Mann. And I think it has like.
Have you read that?
I almost did.
Okay.
I didn't actually. But it's funny that he says that. It's called Death in Venice, but in German it's called Der Tod in Venedig. Because in German, Venice is called Venedig. So, I'm calling bullshit on Gotcho. Because my boy Thomas Mann wrote it first in German.
Too much of a hothead.
Yeah, I think I've read stuff by Thomas Mann. If you don't know me, I'm a German. Well, not German, but I speak German. And German is something I do for work. And I was trying to that. Oh, but so I almost read Death in Venice. I was really tempted to. I think there's like, it's a really old book, but I think there's even a gay romance in it, which isn't like, by really old I mean it's over 100 years old. So that's like, for the time, like that was kind of like a subversive thing.
Yeah, being of his time, yeah, it's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, and I might be completely wrong. I've never read Death in Venice. I've only had my professors describe it to me.
Yeah. So yeah, he shoots him with a gun, and the bullets were touched by gold experience, and he made like roots, and it broke him off. Mm-hmm.
What I love is that Mista is the one that says gold experience. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, Giorno Mista shipping imminent. It's coming. We got a lot of fuel. A lot of Giorno Mista fuel. I feel like Iraqi ships Giorno Mista now that I think about it.
Pretty much. But yeah, this would have been the image of like him skating. I totally see his to-be continue showing up right there. Yeah,
I thought that too. I was like, oh, he's gonna skate in his to-be continue. And no, we get like a good chunk in the fight.
So because this is like the first real armored stand in JoJo, and I love like can he choose to make some, like skates on there, or is skates like
he has to have skates on there?
He has to have skates on there.
That'd be funny.
I don't know. He's basically Frozone, where he does like the skating.
Yeah, he's pre-Frozone though.
Yeah, he is.
He was born in a pre-Frozone world.
Can't imagine that. I mean, we were born in a pre-Frozone world, but
there are children in this world that were born in a post-Frozone world, and they fucking get up in the morning every day and they don't even fucking realize it.
I regressed all those years before Frozone was in a movie, so...
The second I saw Frozone, it literally changed my life.
What year was Incredible? Like 2004?
I think so, yeah, 2004.
So, yeah, all those years, that like 8 or 9 years there...
It's really crazy to think that there was a time that was post 9/11 and pre-Frozone, and society just existed without a problem. Isn't this crazy?
You had Frozone, like, where is my stand? Like, no, I have to be wearing my super suit, man.
But so jokes aside, I fucking love White Album's design so
his armor
much. Yes, his armor and his regular design. His armor design is so cool, and the colors they went with are awesome. The green and purple and white are like green and purple are I've like just because I love Ava so much are just like ingrained in my brain. Is like green and purple go together so well, but having them as like accent colors are awesome. I can't get enough of his design.
I also love like the shading they show in his face. Like when his face actually does show up, they'll show like half it. And I just love it's just the look of it. Like
yeah, it's so cool. And actually, this is I can't tell if that's like the standard colors or the color shift colors. But oh no, so his standard colors are green and purple. Green and purple.
I just love everything to do with the face. It's so creepy.
I like he's got little ears too. It's just awesome. It's just White Album is so cool, and I'm so happy he's in it.
And White Album is off the Beatles album, right?
Yeah, White Album is the Beatles album.
Okay.
White Album.
called white ice in this. So.
Yeah, I thought I'm such an idiot. I read it as water ice, and I was laughing. Like, why'd you call them water ice? I'm just fucking stupid and I can't read. That's why.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's white ice, because I got confused.
Yeah, I was arguing with Sam about it, and I was like, it's fucking water ice, you idiot. And then I was the dumb one.
I was right for once.
For once.
But yeah. But the episode hilariously ends with I gotta drive this thing into the canal. Just the look of Mista and behind Giorno is the most comical ending with freaking you have to play.
It really feels like a stupid buddy cop movie where they're driving the car off of a cliff and it zooms in their faces.
If you're here, then who's driving the? Oh no! And then it would be funnier if they had White Album's faces looking there behind them as well.
Yeah,
I would have been
shocked.
But the fact that freaking he starts playing immediately after this hilarious cliffhanger is so funny to me.
But yeah, it was awesome. Great. And I'm so happy. I was really happy they glazed over Babyface.
Everyone is.
Because I think Babyface is just one that people don't really care about. I think everything we needed from it was the Giorno development and I guess the visuals.
I love the Nero stuff was really cool. Just having a little bit in there, you get that tease of him. We didn't talk about this. The boss. We get our first intro to the book. Tease. It's a minute, but yeah, we get the tease of the boss, and it's in the OP where he's in the cloak or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he's voiced by guy just common his voice in Gurren Lagann. So
which is I didn't even notice when I heard the voice. I was like, wow, they're going with a really deep,
calm.
Because when I'm trying to think of,
but he also I think the games had him had a deep voice that.
Because I think of Doppio as having such a high pitch.
The high pitch. He's a kid. Yeah, he's kind of Koichi kind of voice of being this young
very kind of
a doofus.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so it's really cool to get that tease of him though.
I was super psyched when I saw.
But yeah,
I clapped when I saw the boss.
Overall, Babyface got exactly what it deserved. Just having that brief, quickly over with in an episode and a quarter.
Yeah,
and getting us right in their White Album. It was a little bit of mystery answers in between there with the next clues and everything.
Mm-hmm. So. And yeah, the Babyface thing does feel really weird. As an idea, I get it, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like a very strange. Mostly just the stand conception, no pun intended.
Yeah, but now we're on the probably the best stand fight. Is this one rank more than Grateful Dead for you?
For me, I don't know. I really do love some of the moments in Grateful Dead. The part when he sacrifices himself on the wheel or dies on the wheel but keeps himself alive is so fucking awesome, and they did really good justice. White Album's got to be up there though, because it's just such a fun fight. I love how when it goes into the water, things really get interesting.
Yeah.
And then the ending, of course, is fucking incredible.
Yeah, because this Grateful Dead and Metallica are probably my three favorites in Part 5.
Oh, yeah, Metallica was the one I was damn, I can't wait for.
But also, this is going to be the second ice stand battle in JoJo, I believe, though, with Pet Shop.
Oh, yeah. And I was thinking,
But that one also ended up underwater, if you remember.
Yeah.
So, kind of funny.
And birds can hold their breath for a very long time.
Yeah, now go under the other stat he can think of ice can freeze even salt water even at certain high temperatures.
And then we gotta wait for Part 8 to see the next ice stand.
One day, maybe in 2030.
Well, I think at this rate, there's a chance that the JoJo will catch up to the anime. Or sorry, the anime will catch up to the manga before Part 8's over.
I'm thinking
there's a decent chance that might happen.
I think Part 8 will be done.
I hope it is.
But also Part 7 might be 2 seasons, since it's the longest part in JoJo.
That's true. Yeah, that would probably take a long time. I'd hope
and especially the animation of horseback movement.
Oh, but it's all going to be CG though.
CG horses. Get that berserk rape horse. So, all right. Anything else you want to talk about the episode?
Not really. I thought it was good. Well, the first episode was fine, and as I said, it is kind of we had this really awesome fight, and was kind of a come down.
Yeah.
Of we have a little scene where it's our characters, whatever, and then we've got another quick fight.
It's more of a classic like standoff between like two stands, and it has a solution like like them being tricky, and that's the solution instead of like having to hide like this whole like chase that was Grateful Dead, and then this one also like a chase or getaway. Like
and then
it's like an action movie, like when like a ensemble of monsters chasing these people trying to get away on like a truck or something. Like it's something you see in like Terminator 2 or something.
Yeah, it does definitely have a lot of like references to. I feel like even with the motorcycle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little references, and I think it's cool. And the alien references. There's a lot of weird references.
I mean, part 3, all the monsters or the stands were based off of horror movies, or the first half of part 3.
Mm-hmm. I fucking love Araki so much. I know this is not a surprise since I have 2 Jojo podcasts, but I love Araki how he like will just fucking slap like, yeah, this guy's called Black Sabbath. Like, yeah, his name is just Black Sabbath. Or then he'll just be like, then he'll do things that are like really cryptic references in other ways. Like, I like the way that he takes his references.
But we'll have like, okay, this guy's name is Vanilla Ice, and then we have this guy. Oh, his name is Melon, but in Italian.
Yeah.
And like it was the answer food and everything. Just like, and then it was part 7 and 8. You're just like, okay, we'll just like this is like a new universe. We'll just have these characters again, but they'll be a little bit different for the most part. Or, like, majorly different, or, like, they'll look exactly the same and just be named the same, but they'll just be shoved off to the side, like Stroheim and Abdul were in, like, part 7.
Totally shafted.
Where they were just, like, in the beginning part, didn't get, like, beaten up, like, instantly when the race starts, when everyone starts attacking each other. And then cast on the side.
One thing you said, how it's funny how he's, like, naming all the characters. Like, the name scheme... Like, Jojo starts to develop a name scheme, like... In 5, they're all the characters are named after food, except Giorno. And Bruno. Oh no, Bruno's named after food too. Bucciarati is a cookie.
I'm pretty sure Giorno, you had to do the Jojo thing, so.
But so yeah, in part 5 it's food. Part 6 it's all fashion lines and like fashion brands. And then like whatever you've got like the whole stand system is like all music references and before it was like things. I was watching this is a little not irrelevant, but it's like a little bit of a tangent. I was watching this awesome documentary that is not all the episodes aren't translated and it sucks. And basically I think it's called Manben. And every episode, it's a Japanese TV show. Every episode they have this mangaka, this guy who wrote a bunch of like really famous ones in the 80s. And he goes to a manga studio. He films their stuff for a week, where they have cameras film for a week, and then he meets with the mangaka, and then they talk, and they like just explain like the process. It's fucking awesome. I so recommend it. I watched the episode on what's his name, Ino Asano, the guy who wrote like Pun Pun, a bunch of other ones. I know this is going on really long. I just wanted to lead into it.
It's fine.
So the reason why I brought this up was even though like this guy Ino Asano is like an incredible manga. He's an amazing force of creativity, and like his visuals are incredible. And he was like, yeah, I always have a hard time coming up with the names. And the one guy who hosts the show was like, yeah, I had these 3 random small characters in like a book I did years ago. He's like, and I just named them 3 of the stations on my way home for the train I would take home every night. And so it would just be those three names in a row. And he's like, and only people from that area would get that joke. And that's kind of like what Araki, like you can tell Araki was like, I don't want to name everyone, so I'm just going to name everyone like one theme.
Which
like
is probably
food.
why like Westerners love Jojo so much, because you get these music references that you just everyone's so familiar with in here, especially like how much we love music in the United States. Yeah,
it's so fun, and they're all Western. Like literally 99% are Western references.
Yeah,
there's literally 2. I think there's 2 that are named after
the train or what was it, Choco Disco? I think.
Yeah, Choco Disco, which I saw a video on. I think Medi did a video on it, and the only reason Araki chose it was because one of the girls, because it's a Japanese girl group.
Yeah,
and one of the girls like loved Jojo and wrote a letter to Araki, and he was like, "Oh, well, now I have to put them in here." And I thought that was like really sweet.
Jim's favorite stand, Chocolate Disco.
Yeah, I fucking hate Chocolate Disco. But
what's the other one then? You remember?
Magent. Oh no, wait, sorry. There's 3.
Okay.
Magent, and then
a lot of part 7.
Yeah, they're only in part 7. And who's the other guy who had the right side ataxia attack?
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about, but
maybe was he even? I forget his name. But yeah, the guy who also had steel balls. His whole story was that he was like Gyro's like competitor from Italy. I think his name might have been another Japanese reference, but Magent is the other one that I know for sure.
If anyone forgetting, you can put that in the comments.
Yeah, please. Oh yeah, I've said before. Please correct us when we're wrong.
Yes.
It's only good. It's only ever good to correct us when we're wrong. I won't. I'd never take offense to being corrected on.
Jim loves comments.
Fucking being angry. Someone corrected me on Jojo, unless they are wrong. Then I will destroy you in the battlefield of the YouTube comment section.
It's on, but yeah. So that's interesting though. Like I love that. Like she wrote to.
Yeah, I might be.
That's so heartwarming. It is.
Mixing details up. I really highly recommend the Medi video on Chocolate Disco because he does go way more into it than I thought he would. And it's a stand that I think I've even said in the past. It's a stand that I just want to push aside. When I get to that part, or when I got to that part, I've only read it once. I want him to just go away so I can get to the fucking Valentine stuff. And like, it just feels like you're in Gyro's way. Get out of here.
It's like Babyface. It's
like Babyface.
I want to get this out of the way so I can get to some of the best like White Album, then Metallica and King Crimson. I can't wait to get all that crap. Like
exactly.
Every part has that for the most part. Have like that bundle of stuff you just want to get past. Like Dio's kids inside part 6. You just want to get past them.
Pretty much. That's so much of it too.
There's so much of that.
And like, yeah. I know people feel that way about the whole prison part, but I love the part.
I think the prison part's the best because they actually have a goal to get. Is like getting. I like the stuff in getting. Have to get Jojo's like the disc back for him. That's like my favorite part of part 6.
And it feels cool having like a consistent location for a lot of it. I like that.
That was its unique thing of like having like they're stuck in one place.
Whereas like Morio, I mean you could say Morio is a consistent location too, but Morio is like a backdrop for all these other smaller settings.
And the fact they're also in prison, so they have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But like
All right, so
one twist thing that I love Vista punching the driver. That was like a little minor thing, but I thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah. That was really fucking funny.
Yeah, I think that was really, really good. And then, I'm just wondering, like, after White Album, it's just, what is going to be King Crimson, or we can go with the Rolling Stones, or both? Or that's my big thing I want to, like, know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm so excited for King Crimson. And wait, does that mean that, I'm trying to remember, they said, they announced there's a new OP being recorded, so they announced the day that it was going to be on sale, like the single. So, and I think that was in March. So I'm trying to figure out. People said because the speculation is that it's like Trader. It translates to like something Trader's song,
like Trader's Requiem or something like
that. So people are like, okay, it's probably going to be when they turn on the boss, which would be at the King Crimson. Which I would say would probably be at the end of this month then, because like
it's not going to be next week. They're probably going to get there I said the Rolling Stones, and it probably would line up to beginning of March.
Yeah, because there'd be 2 more episodes this month, assuming that they don't take a break or anything.
Yeah,
which I don't think they would.
So I can see that being the case, but
all right. Well, this has gone on longer than I thought.
Yes, but
it's hilariously most of it was not about Babyface.
I mean, that's how people wanted it to be.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna make the thumbnail will be like Babyface is like creeping in, but it's just gonna be mostly like White Album like pushing him out or just dominating the frame.
Just be that image of like Giorno's eye getting crushed, but just replace it with Babyface on the corner of him getting crushed.
Seriously, I cannot recommend you guys enough. Find the clip where Giorno's eye gets crushed by Babyface as a football. It's so fucking weird, and I don't know why it's there.
It is very quick, not made a big deal of, and is quiet. I don't think it makes a sound either.
There's any sound effects. I'm pretty sure there isn't any sound. It's just because like I think I rewound it when I was like, what just happened? Did Giorno's eye just get crushed randomly?
I did notice that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like hashtag or not hashtag like cap all clickbait. Only 4% of men notice this weird thing that happens to your eye. All right, we should end it now. It's going on too long.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, thank you so much.
Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Be cool.
Yeah, we've gotten a little bit of an influx lately. We got a bunch of subscribers, and I've noticed that there's been more attention on these videos, so let us know what you think on these, because we don't normally get too many comments.
Yeah, and this month, we usually do a Part 8 chapter review every month when they come out, but this month, Rocky's on hiatus, so
Let the man rest.
Yeah, so we have a fill-in, which we're doing Diesel, whenever that's out. And
so this is going to come out first. I'm going to put the Diesel one out shortly after, so once this episode's up, just give me some time.
Yeah, we usually do like 2 to 3 videos a month, though.
Yeah, I might space it out a teeny bit. But yeah, get hype for Diesel. So Diesel, if you're not aware, we'll just do the little sales pitch really quick. Diesel is like a Jojo ripoff an American comic that was a Jojo, just blatant Jojo ripoff. Like, literally just stole names and, like, concepts.
And the arc's, like, it's basically the end-all stand, so...
It's crazy. It's actually fucking crazy. And you need to read... There's only one issue of it.
Yeah, it's one issue.
It came out in, like, 97?
97. April of 97.
All right, we'll talk about this later. But hilarious. Get hyped for it. Read it, and then come back.
Yeah, because we've done a comic episode before. This will be our second comic book episode. For some reason, like, when we had, like, our old style, like...
Mignon cast?
Yes. We did an episode about Tigra from Marvel, and that's for some reason one of our highly viewed videos. So, it's our second comic episode, which... I'm excited to do.
I'm very excited. We're actually going to record right now. So, stay tuned.
Get some water.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for listening.
I love you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.